Hi, so remember to pretend that I'm happy and really pleased to be here doing this test for the second time. Yesterday the sound didn't work and I'm having to do this all over again, but never mind. Hopefully it'll be a roaring success and I'll be even better this time than I was yesterday. So we are looking at the Wilson Dynapower Driver, came out this year, against the Wilson Invex Titanium Driver that came out 27 years ago. So it's not a test that anybody's asked for, it's not a test that anybody's looking for, because I don't suppose there's many interested parties in the old Invex anymore. But people are interested in the Wilson Dynapower and I have not reviewed it yet properly, so this is a chance to review it and put it up against something which is extremely old and it should be miles better than. I really hope it's miles better than it. Actually, I know what it did yesterday, don't I? Well, maybe it'll be different today. So the Wilson Dynapower has been getting rave reviews from the likes of Peter Finch and Rick Shields, and I haven't reviewed it. If I'm being honest, I don't exactly know what all the fuss is about. It looks fairly standard to me, and I wasn't particularly excited when I saw it. I'll tell you why I was excited, because I thought, I've been a Wilson player for a while. I've used a lot of Wilson stuff, and I thought finally a driver that I can actually use, that looks absolutely as I would want it, sits nicely, has a nice head, all that kind of thing. But I wasn't blown away by the graphics or anything like that. This performance, the bits I've hit of it have been very similar to lots of other things, as all drivers generally are. So it's good that it's up there with them, but I wasn't suddenly thinking that it was something out of this world. But as I say, I've not had a real good dig into the figures, and I'll have a look today and see what comes up. This is the low spin head. There's two heads. There's a carbon and there's a standard, and the carbon has kind of mottled carbon effect on the top and the other one doesn't. The other one's plain black. I bet they both look pretty similar on the bottom. The carbon, I'm told, is lower spinning, so I've got it set to 10.5 because I'm not a particularly high spin player. Hopefully that'll be about the right setting. I have hit it before and it generally is about right. On with the test. As I say, the Invex Titanium looks absolutely tiny. I remember when this came out, giving my age away a wee bit there, but we went running out like excited children when this came in onto the practice ground and hit it and couldn't believe the size of it. And I now can't believe the size of it because it looks absolutely tiny. We couldn't believe it looked so big back then, but wasn't a major sales success because of its sort of futuristic looks. It's now got the footprint of about an average 3 wood. It's a little bit thicker that way. Anyway, I'm going to hit the Invex first and then move over to the new club, to what will feel just like paradise, I'm hoping, with massive increase in figures and massive ease of use. The Invex, very strange looking club, which I actually didn't mind, believe it or not. I must have been one of the few people in the world that didn't mind the look of this. I quite liked it. But let's see what it's like to hit. It looks very small, and I can't believe what chance I thought I had of playing good golf when I was using a club this small. Just about missed the net there, I think. Far right, massively far right. Could have just been first swing of the day syndrome. 227 yards in the air, 251, so not particularly good. 137, nearly missed the club actually there, so I'll have to be a bit more precise than that. I think I hit more of the club there. Oh my gosh, yeah, straight right again. 228, this time in the air 253 or something, so appalling. And offline. Right, so let's try and get the start line a wee bit closer to the middle. Felt solid enough. A little bit out to the right again. Lack of ability coming into play though. 227 for 250, so starting to get a wee pattern here of the 220 in the air syndrome. 3000 revs, 10 degrees launch. 3000 revs is pretty high. Felt solid-ish. Oh, low hooky one, and another 217, 252. This is appalling. I know it can do better than this. How do I know? Because I made a mess of the sound yesterday. Don't know. Yeah, bit of more of a normal looking shot. Use a different ball. That ball's broken. It's not actually. Right, how many have I hit? Hit 5. Let's see if we can get to 10 and then do an average. Miles out to the right all the time. 240 for 265, a wee bit better. 148 miles an hour ball speed. Usually get up high 150s a lot of the time for me. Coming back, still a bit low. Getting into 260s now, 236 in the air though, nothing very spectacular there. 149 ball speed. Out to the right job again, hooking back a wee bit. 235 in there, 266. Sounds and feels all right actually. It doesn't feel that different to a modern club in terms of the feel and sound. Kind of poor par for the course at the moment. 240, 267. Supposedly this is the last shot, but we'll see about that. Nothing felt good about that either. Come on, last shot. Give it everything. Felt all right. Out to the right. See if we've got to get one at the 270s at least. Just so low looking. Out to the right, but if it's gone far, I'll take it. We sneak another one in. Sneak another one in before we get onto the big one. I mean, it feels all right. For an older driver, it feels all right. Well, it was straight for a change. 257, 226, wow, it's so short. I don't think I'm getting optimum launch conditions here. I've got 10 degree launch, 2000, 148 ball speed, so it's not come out of the middle because I think the ball speed would be higher. So it's fallen out the air too quick, but still. Straighter at least again. 260. Right, well I suppose it's all relative, is it? If I'm not particularly swinging well today, and I'm doing that. I think I was doing better figures than that yesterday. But let's see what the other one's doing. Because as I say, it is all relative. So I'll stop that batch there and we'll move on to the Wilson Dynapower. Well, in that pathetic batch, I don't think this is going to take much to beat it. But maybe it's not a good swinging day, so I don't know. Let's have a look and see what the Dynapower does. Now, it is a nice head. I use this TaylorMade Stealth 2, and for me, the TaylorMade Stealth 2 is a nicer looking head. But then somebody else might pick those two up and say, Fraser, you're wrong. The Wilson is way nicer than your Stealth 2. And I wouldn't be able to argue with that because that's their opinion, and beauty is within. What's the saying again? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's the saying, isn't it? So it means that you're allowed to like whatever you want, and it doesn't matter what I say. For me, this is nice, but not as nice as the Stealth 2. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. Just felt night and day in terms of the sound and feel off the face. So much more rewarding, and that wasn't even optimum. That's 251, 276, 2,900 spins. So that's a high spin shot for me. So I must have sort of hit down on it and trapped it. 11 degrees launch. I would normally launch it a bit higher than that. It felt so much better. And just again, so much better. And they're slightly hooked, but what's that done? 291, 261 in the air. That's more my figures. 2,000 revs, 157, 14 degrees launch. So wow. So if you'd given me, you know, you'll roll back 27 years and we're running out with that, thinking it's good, and somebody appears in a sort of time travel machine and says, hang on a minute, try that. You know, you'd be blown away, first of all, by the size of it. You wouldn't be able to come to terms with it. But it's just the feel and the sound and everything. It's just like a rocket going off compared to that. So much easier looking as well with the size. Tried not to hook that one. What have I done with it? Yeah, out to the right a bit. At least it wasn't turning over too much. 295, 264. So maybe it wasn't that bad a swing day. It was just the Invex is not very good. 295, yeah. I almost don't need to hit anymore. I'll hit one more just for the fun of it and the love of the game. No, that's a shocker. Quit while you're ahead is the name of the game. And that was a shocker and nearly missed the ball, and then we get down to Invex maxed out figures. If I take that out though, because that was a weird shot, bear in mind I did take some Invex ones out as well, so there was the best of the bunch as well. One more, see if we can get to the old 300 mark. be surprised. Nah, 282 is a bit spinny, was it? 28, yeah. So I just had to stop myself there so I don't just get into sort of thrash mode and become like a sweaty, knackered mess trying to hit the ball as hard as I can for the next half hour, running out of battery, running out of everything. Let's just stop now and get on with a slight conclusion to the story. Now the conclusion to the story, probably saw it coming a mile off. This, believe it or not, being 27 years older, is miles better than the other one. If we have a look at the figures, because I nearly forgot to do that. So if we look at that, the ball speed for its first thing you see, 147 for the Invex and 156 for the Dynapower. Launch not far off the same, bend not far off the same, carry 230 to 258, so 28 yards further in the air, and 258 average total to 286. So it is massive. It's 28 yards further total distance for 27 years. Now you don't have to be a mathematician to work out that's over a yard a year, which is the minimum I would have expected from the engineers in the golf industry. It is good news, and if you're in the market for an Invex Titanium, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I wouldn't bother. I would maybe put that money towards the grip of the Dynapower and then save up for the rest of it. These are actually not very expensive as well in terms of new drivers, and that's one of the other things about it, and I think why people were getting a bit excited about this is it performs really well. I think it's kind of equals just about everything out there, if not better as most things. So it sounds really good, it feels really good, and it looks the business. It looks really smart. So I would thoroughly recommend it, and I would thoroughly recommend not buying an Invex because it's not particularly good. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.